Hi, everybody. Laura here. Today I'm very honored and excited to be joining my dear sweet friend Kathy. We're kicking off her fourth 30-day coloring challenge with a blog hop. Here's the project I'm going to be creating in this video. I'm using the Bramble Heart die by Simon Says Stamp. I'm taking a little scrap of Neenah Solar White and putting a bunch of adhesive on the back. I'm going to adhere it to this other scrap of Fun Foam. I've been doing this a lot lately, so you've probably seen I'm kind of on a streak. I'm like addicted to it right now. I'm digging it. So once I get that adhered together, I'm going to run it through with that Bramble Heart die. This is really intricate and detailed. And so running this through one time gives you instant dimension with that Fun Foam. I love it because I used to run my die cuts through 4 or 5 times, adhere them all together and to get that dimension. And now I'm kind of addicted to this Fun Foam technique. But I will say when you do it, it really gets lodged into your die cut. So you need that retractable needle tool to kind of release it and pop it out again. So look how that cuts right through like butter. And then now there's all these little bits and pieces that you're going to have to pop out. It's going to take a little bit of time, but you get the idea of what I'm doing here. Taking my needle and just carefully going around all those little details. And it comes off. Just takes a little bit of patience. So once we get that all popped out and ready to rock and roll, we're going to do some coloring. Hence the coloring challenge. So what I did was used my Copics to color in all the details of this Bramble Heart die. Now I thought about using my Zig clean color markers. Then I would have had to die cut it out of some watercolor cardstock, which I didn't do. So I just grabbed my Copics. That's kind of my go-to medium anyway. I feel most comfortable with my Copics. So, you know, like Kathy says, it doesn't matter what you're coloring with, and it doesn't matter what you're coloring. Just color a little something every day. And if you know anything about Kathy, she is the coloring master. Oh my goodness, she's so talented. And something you might not know about Kathy is she is hilarious. I'll tell you what, you never know what's going to come out of her mouth. She's so funny. I feel very fortunate that I've gotten to know her at some stamping events, CHA, and some retreats, and I just love her to death. She has a heart of gold. She's a real encourager, especially with this coloring challenge. You know, she encourages so many people. She takes time to leave comments, and I encourage you to be a part of it. There's lots of fun prizes and giveaways. If you create something and link it up, you have chances to win and leave comments. I know there's some spots for the latest online card classes that you can win. And so anyhow, I'm just coloring this Bramble Heart die in with my Copics, adding some pops of pinks and orange and yellows. When this is all done, I'm going to add a little clear Wink of Stella for some shimmer. But before I do that, I'm going to adhere this onto a little panel. So I'm going to flip it over and use my spray adhesive. This is just a scrap box that I use for my spray adhesive. Take my tweezers, flip it over, and I'm going to kind of cock it off to the side. That's something I like to do. And put that right onto a little panel. And now I have a strip of, this is actually paper tray ink, a little strip of Raspberry Fizz striped pattern paper. And I'm just kind of adhering that along the right side of my card base. I've got a Neenah Solar White card base. And then I'm going to take more adhesive. Yes, I realized just now as I'm watching myself, I go through a lot of adhesive. I'm putting some Fun Foam on the back so I can pop that up on the left side. So yeah, I'm watching myself. I'm thinking, holy smoky joes, do I ever go through a lot of adhesive? I guess that's why my blog's called Double Stick Heaven. Did you ever know that? Like, I think it's been over 8 years now. I started my blog years ago. And of course, I didn't know what to title my blog. I had no idea. But back in the day, I probably had more types of adhesive than I had stamps. I had a whole drawer full of adhesive, different kinds, double-sided, thick, foam, and all this and that. And so I'm just going to call it my Double Stick Heaven because it's like my little drawer of double-sided heaven. How do I got double stick from double-sided tape? But yeah, I don't love the name, but I can't think of anything better unless I just called it Laura Basson's Creations, and that just about puts me to sleep. So I just leave it as is. You know the old saying, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. That's what I'm telling myself anyway. So I'm embossing the year day on that little strip of black cardstock. And then we're going to adhere. By the way, this is the Painted Enjoy die cut by Simon Says Stamp. I die cut that onto some doll pink and add a little doll pink ink on the bottom of it just to give it a little bit of an accent. So I'm taking that scrap of what I die cut it so that I know exactly where to place my little dot for the J. I know there's a word for that dot, and I know you're probably going to tell me what's the name of that, but I can't think of it right now. There is a word for the name of the dot on the top of the J. Tittle. That's the name. I just looked it up. I had to stop and look it up. It's going to drive me crazy. Tittle is the name of the dot above the J or the I. How can I forget that name? Tittle. What a name. Kathy's going to love that one. So this card's finished. Thank you so much for joining me. Enjoy the rest of your hop and have a wonderful day.